A father's silence is not always absence. Sometimes it is a shield forged in fire, a deliberate withholding of truths he believes his son cannot bear. This is the hidden landscape of paternal pain, a territory most men only discover when they stand alone. The weight of unspoken suffering is a heavy inheritance, passed down in the quiet moments, in the averted gaze, in the carefully chosen words that skate over the ice of true experience. Men are not built to weep openly. They are trained to endure, to absorb the blows, and to project an image of unshakable resolve. This stoic ideal, while vital for resilience, can also become a cage, trapping fathers in a cycle of isolation. They believe they are protecting their sons by shielding them from the rawest edges of life. But this protection is a double-edged sword. It denies the son the opportunity to learn from the father's hard-won wisdom and leaves him ill-equipped for the inevitable storms. Consider the man who built his empire with sweat and blood, yet never spoke of the betrayals that almost broke him. He might tell his son to be ambitious, but not of the crushing loneliness at the summit. Or the father who navigated the labyrinth of illness only to assure his child that all would be well, never revealing the gnawing fear that consumed his nights. This is the paradox of paternal love, the desire to shield leading to a deficit in preparedness. The son, seeing only the unblemished surface, believes the path will be smoother than it is. This is where the true damage lies, not in the pain itself, but in the expectation of its absence. When life inevitably delivers its harsh lessons, the loss of a job, the sting of betrayal, the specter of mortality, the son who has been shielded is less resilient. He lacks the internal framework, the inherited stoic muscle, to absorb the shock. He feels abandoned, not by his father's physical absence, but by his emotional unavailability in the face of genuine suffering. The lesson of endurance so crucial to a man's character is left unlearned. The father, in his attempt to be a fortress, becomes a gilded cage. We are taught from a young age to be strong, to not cry, to be the rock. But what happens when the rock itself is fractured, yet insists on appearing whole? What is the cost of this performance for the man who carries it, and for the son who learns to emulate it? The true strength of a man is not in the absence of pain, but in his capacity to acknowledge it, to process it, and to emerge from it, changed but not broken. This is a lesson that cannot be taught through absence. It requires the vulnerability of shared experience. Seneca, in his wisdom, understood the transformative power of adversity. He wrote, "It is not that we have so little time, but that we waste so much." This applies not only to our waking hours, but to our emotional lives. By withholding the truth of our struggles, fathers waste an opportunity to pass on the most profound lessons. They deny their sons the chance to see that hardship is not a sign of failure, but a fundamental aspect of the human condition. It is a crucible in which character is tested and refined. The father who hides his scars prevents his son from understanding the true nature of healing and resilience. He perpetuates a myth of effortless victory. This perpetuation can lead to a deep-seated fear of vulnerability in the son. He grows up believing that any admission of pain or weakness is a fundamental character flaw. This can manifest in strained relationships, difficulty forming genuine connections, and an inability to ask for help when it is most needed. He carries his own burdens in silence, mirroring the very behavior he was taught by omission. The father's love, intended as a guiding light, becomes a shadow that obscures the path to authentic emotional maturity. What is the antidote to this inherited silence? It begins with a father's willingness to speak not of his triumphs, but of his trials. Not with self-pity, but with the quiet gravity of a man who has wrestled with demons and survived. It requires him to offer his son not a map of an easy road, but a shared understanding of the difficult terrain. It means demonstrating that vulnerability is not weakness, but a profound strength. The strength to be real, to be human, and to offer a hand to another man navigating the same dark woods. This is not about confessing every regret or burdening the son with the father's past. It is about offering glimpses, framed by wisdom. It is about showing that the strongest men are not those who feel no pain, but those who understand its purpose and have learned to walk with it. The battlefield of life leaves scars. A father's true legacy is not hiding those scars, but showing his son how to bear them with dignity and how to emerge from the fight stronger for the experience. The lesson is not in avoidance, but in endurance. The greatest gift a father can give his son is not a life free from pain, but the tools and the understanding to face it head-on. The silence a father keeps can become a son's inheritance of fear. The truths he withholds can leave his son unprepared for the very storms he himself has weathered. True strength is not the absence of struggle, but the courage to face it, learn from it, and teach others to do the same. A father's greatest protection is not in shielding his son from pain, but in guiding him through it, scarred but unbowed.